Please read the disclaimer. Holy smokus, it ain't no jokes. XRP holders oil pumped over $100 per barrel. And the crypto market in XRP, well, pulled back a little bit, but not the end of the world so far. Futures open up very aggressive to the downside, but has recovered after an announcement from countries that could potentially ease a little bit of all the fear. We're going to talk about all this. All I ask from you is that you give me a beautiful smile to send out those good vibes. Smishity smash that like button. Let's try to get 1,000 likes on this video. You guys have been not doing your job, right? You got only one job, is to smash the like button. That's all I ask. And recently, the price of XRP has been going down. Videos have not been getting likes. Just saying, just saying. Wink, wink. Of course, there's no real straight correlation between the two. Okay, let's get into it. Currently, XRP is sitting at $1.34, up 0.43% on the day. But the bigger movers here, interestingly, are Bitcoin up 2.7%, Ethereum up almost 3%, Sol up 2.5%. XRP here down 0.5%. But as you can see, XRP didn't really have a big sell-off when the market futures opened up, right? So you can see here, for example, Bitcoin dropped all the way down to 65,000 last night, whereas XRP held to 132, and recovered very fast. So if we go from GMT time, which is 3 a.m., right, XRP is basically flat, whereas Bitcoin was all the way down here. So now that it's quote unquote recovered, it looks a lot better on the percentage wise of the daily graph here, right? So remember, you have to look at, the daily price action, the price itself, the percentage wise. Again, sometimes it's going to be to here or to there, depending on when the count starts. Okay, so we did see oil pop here over $100 per barrel. It opened up at almost 120 per barrel after closing the week there at 90. Right now, it's pulled back about 10%. You can see this looking at the 1 hour chart here for oil. It dropped here in this 1 hour, this big about 10% candle there. And this came after this headline, right? So wait, one second. Here you can see this sell off. It came off of the headline that, where is it? That G7 countries are considering a joint release of oil from reserves, potentially as much as 400 million barrels, as oil prices were skyrocketing. Details include the release would potentially coordinate by International Energy Agency. 3 G7 countries, including the U.S., have so far expressed support for the idea, and U.S. officials believe a joint release in the range of 300 million to 400 million barrels is appropriate. G7 countries currently hold 1.2 billion barrels of oil in reserve, so potentially this could bring prices down. Japan already came out and said, well, we don't want to, we haven't made a decision yet. We will make a decision, going forward. But so far it has held prices at bay, right? So oil is right now at 103. The VIX, which is the fear index, opened up very, very high at 35 and has fallen back to 33. Remember, anything over 20 is considered pretty bearish. So there is a lot of fear in the market right now. Moreover, it is a CPI week and a GDP week and a PCE week, right? All these things are coming out this week, all this financial data. Moreover, you have, President Trump, trying to cool down the whole oil situation, coming out and saying only fools fear oil spike, calls it a very small price to pay. He dismissed concerns over rising energy costs, saying it is a very small price to pay for the U.S. and world safety and peace, while WTI crude futures have surged beyond 80% this year. So now you have a situation where the market is going to be sitting and waiting and figuring out, okay, what's going to happen here with the oil prices. People are making bank with this trade. I did not open up a trade on oil. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, right? I thought that it would go to $100 per barrel. That wasn't, out of the realm of possibility. I just didn't think that there would, there'd be a this will stay at these prolonged prices for long. I thought that they would find a way around this. Maybe it does the famous parabolic, right? Pump and then sell off. Maybe we have something like that, similar to, remember what we had with silver, where we had the parabolic run and then it pulled back. Silver sitting now at 84. It did have that huge pump there, and now it's kind of cooled off a little bit. All the hype around silver and gold, right? It has kind of pulled back a little bit ever since the conflict started. I think well, there was, of course, the sell-off that happened, very, very, big sell-off that happened there, about 20% in a day. But since the conflict started in the Middle East, the prices haven't really gone too crazy. I think there was a pre-run to precious metals as a safe haven. And once we're already there and the world has not fallen into WW3, I think that less money is flowing there, or just some money is sitting still on the sidelines seeing what could potentially happen. As always, I just want to remind you that this video is for educational purposes, for entertainment purposes only, not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence before you decide to invest. Also, a reminder that I will never contact you on social media asking you to sign up to anything or to send me any money. I'm not going to be DMing you. I'll never send you the first message. Please be very careful out there, okay? There's a lot of scammers. And when the markets aren't great, they try to feed on people that are a little bit impatient. So just be very careful out there. I also want to remind you about our amazing partnership with BTCC, now giving 30% deposit bonus to people that use my link. This is only for us, guys, only for moneymakers. So if you're interested, link is in the description down below. I will get a commission. This is another way that you can support the channel. I really appreciate it if you use my link and not somebody else's link. And as always, please trade responsibly and don't, trade with money that you cannot afford to lose. Okay, let's get back to what's happening. I found this very funny. Where is it? This also, President Trump said prices for oil will drop rapidly when destruction of Iran nuclear threat is over. So again, this could be a short-term pump here for oil. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. This was funny. Jim Cramer just said he does not see a path to de-escalation between the US, Israel, and Iran. And Elon Musk was like, phew, now I can rest easy. Inverse Cramer is incredible, right? So Cramer has actually gone after Tesla and Elon's companies multiple times in the past. Of course, we all know how that came out. There's a very interesting graph. The inverse Cramer and the Nancy Pelosi graph are almost the same, right? Going up. So if Cramer is becoming ultra bearish, that might mean that we are close to a turnaround here in the markets. We know that many times what happens with Cramer is that he just goes with what is popular. So if fear is popular, he goes with fear. If the market is very, very positive, he goes with positivity. He goes with what is in, right? He never goes against the grain, and that's usually a signal that we are close to a sort of a bottom. Again, we'll see. We don't know exactly how long this quote unquote bear market will continue or this, price pullback. My best guess, right, and this is just a guess, is that it will have the turnaround in the crypto market. Most likely, the really nice prolonged turnaround will have to do with the Clarity Act, right? The Clarity Act was the reason why the first 2 weeks of the year, that nice run up got stopped, right? So my thinking is that if there is positive news from the Clarity Act, we'd go potentially in the other direction, but we'll have to see again how that potentially plays out. The South Korean market continues to be very, very volatile. Now, this morning, going down 8%, triggering a circuit breaker again. This is a very, very volatile time for the South Koreans. KO. So I paused the video and I'm not sure where I was because I kept talking for like 5 minutes. Technical difficulty time. I paused the recording. I think I was talking about the South Korean exchange. Hopefully, right? It happens sometimes. There was sirens at night, ballistic missiles. So I didn't sleep that much tonight. Right after yesterday, I was like, "Oh, I slept so much." Tonight, no. So if we go back to South Korean exchange, you can see here that it went on a massive rally, but now it's become very, very volatile. And the thinking here is that the South Korean people, they love crypto, they love XRP in specific, but if their stock market is very, very volatile and now losing money, many of them might be profit taking right now, and then maybe they could come over to crypto, come over to XRP. We know that they love XRP. Upbit is always top on the volume for XRP many days. And so this could be good, but this is also be bad. They might be losing money now and they'll be afraid to invest and then they might sit on the sidelines. So we'll see what happens here. Grok is saying that this is because that South Korean imports 100% of its crude oil, mostly from Middle East via risky routes, hammering its energy-dependent, export-heavy economy. And tech heavyweights like Samsung and SK are down sharply after last year's huge run-up. They were big AI plays. So we'll continue to see what happens here in the crypto market going forward. And right now we're in a situation where most of the XRP holders that bought over the last 2 years are in the red, right? $50 billion worth of XRP is now underwater. If you look at the graph, and outside of some, outlier days, this day here where the conflict started, the 4th and the 5th, and of course, October 10th, XRP has not been at this level 134 for the most part, right? So most of the people bought at higher levels since what is this, November of 2024. And I'm not talking about people that bought in 2021. Let's talk about only the last 4 or 5 years. From May 22nd, May of 2022 to October of 2024, all these people are in the plus, even more than 100%, maybe outside of this day where, but for the most part, 100% gains on their positions. And everybody that bought after November of 24 is mostly down on their positions, right? 99.9% are down. And then this brings us to an interesting situation right now, right? Whenever you have a situation where a big significant amount of holders suddenly turn into the red, then there's the theory about this. Does this mean that people are going to start dollar cost averaging now because they say, okay, if I start dollar cost averaging, I am reducing my cost average significantly because now we're in a lower level. Or do people now look at their portfolios and try to analyze and say, okay, this is in the green, this is in the red, everything that's in the red, I'm removing, right? And that could be a possibility. We've heard some YouTubers recently saying that they were consolidating their positions. A lot of altcoins that were in the red, they were selling them and consolidating them into quote unquote safer havens in the crypto market, larger cap assets. There's no correct answer. Hindsight is always 2020, right? We don't know exactly how this is going to play out, what assets are going to go up, what assets are going to go down, what assets are going to continue to flourish in the future. But when I look at XRP and I look at Ripple and I look at the current ecosystem and I look at the potential of XRP, it's not like something else where it doesn't have a big backing. I don't know. I'm just throwing something out there. I'll pick something randomly. I picked randomly Fartcoin. No, something else. I don't know. Let's say Litecoin. I don't know. Maybe Litecoin's not the best. Polygon. Okay. So Polygon doesn't have the same, backing as XRP has in Ripple. And look at the price action, right? So Polygon is, a tenth of where it was at the high, right? So it's gone down, what is this, 99% from the high? Something crazy. 92%, right? So but XRP, right? XRP, if you go to the high, yes, it's down, but it's not down at the same levels that something like that is 62%. Okay. And this is mainly because I think people look at Ripple, people look at the job they're doing and the backing and the support that they give XRP. So when I look at it like that, and I look at the partnerships that Ripple has with the US government and all the things that could potentially come, I look at XRP and I'm like, okay, The times are not great from a price action standpoint of view. Many people are in the red right now, but I'm looking at it as an opportunity. Maybe you see it different. Every single person will have their own opinion on it. You can see some people are very, very bearish on the crypto market right now, and some people are very bullish. That's what's so amazing about the crypto markets. You get to make your own mistakes. Sometimes you're going to be successful, sometimes you're not going to be. I have been successful and I've been not unsuccessful. This is the part of it. And the more you mess up, the more you learn. Hopefully, right? I'm working on it. I'm still working on it. I make same mistakes over and over, but I try to be better every single time. And that's the best we can do. Okay. Don't forget to smash the like button. Check out the links in the description down below if you're interested in BTCC and trading. Drop a comment. Don't forget to smash the like button. You know you almost forgot. I'm reminding you once again. Thank you for watching. The kids have a Zoom school soon. And like I always say, let's make a lot of money.